Hi everyone, it's Annie here with my August TBR. So this TBR is a bit all over the place. I have some sci-fi, adult sci-fi. I have quite a few middle grades, and for some reason I'm in a big horror mood. Like I woke up and I was like, I need to read something scary. So I have a couple horror books on here as well. So let's get started. So first I wanted to mention the book for the Found in Translation book club, which I'll have linked up above, and the Discord in the description, which is Violets by Shin Kyung-suk. This is translated from Korean. It is a sapphic historical novel. It is quite short, so I'm very, very excited to read that. You can hear more about it in my announcement video. And then for the middle grade books, first I have Midsummer's Mayhem by Rajani Laraka. And this cover is adorable. This sounds super, super cute. It is a retelling of Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream, but it is about this Indian American girl who wants to become a professional baker, and her dad is helping her, but one day he loses his sense of taste and she has to figure out how to get him back to normal or something like that. It sounds adorable. It has really good ratings, and just the cover really drew me in. It just seems so cozy and very cottagecore, so I'm really looking forward to this one. The next middle grade is The Red Pencil, which I'm actually reading for the Buzzwordathon prompt. I think it's very vague. It's just like a book with an object in the title, so pencil it is. And this is written in verse, if I'm not mistaken, about a girl named Amira who has turned 12 and she's old enough to go to school, but her life in her peaceful Sudanese village is shattered when the Janjaweed arrive, and the terrifying attackers ravage the town and unleash unspeakable horrors. After she loses nearly everything, Amira needs to dig deep within herself to find the strength to make the long journey on foot to the refugee camp. So I have been interested in reading this for a very long time. I picked this out for this Buzzwordathon prompt back in January, and I'm still very excited to read it, so I'm hoping it's really good. The next middle grade is The Wild Robot by Peter Brown, and this just spoke to me when I read the synopsis. It's about this robot named Roz who wakes up in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness, and she basically has to figure out how to survive, and she befriends the animals, and it just sounds so cute and adorable. I cannot wait to read this. It probably will be the first book I read this month because the audiobook has already come in on Libby for me. I'm just so excited. It just seems very heartwarming, and that cozy sci-fi feeling. And another middle grade I have been wanting to read for so long is The Wolf Wilder, which is a historical middle grade about this girl, Fyodora, who lives with her mother in the snowy woods of Russia. And instead of being an animal tamer, her mother is a wolf wilder, so she teaches the wolves to be wild again and to fend for themselves in their natural habitats. But when the hostility of the Russian army threatens their existence, Fyodora is left with no option but to go on the run, and it just sounds amazing. I'm really into middle grade books that have something to do with Russia and Russian history for some reason, and I love wolves. I love that aspect of it, so I definitely want to read this. So in terms of horror, the first book I want to read is P. Djeli Clark's Ring Shout, which is a social horror novella that is kind of also historical fantasy, I believe. It takes place in 1915, and it's about basically someone fighting the Ku Klux Klan, and it sounds amazing. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and P. Djeli Clark is an amazing author, so I definitely want to try this one out. The next horror I have on my list is Pew by Catherine Lacey. This is another quite short book. It is about this small unnamed town in the American South. A church congregation arrives to a service and finds a figure asleep on a pew. The person is genderless, racially ambiguous, and refuses to speak. One family takes the stranger in and nicknames them Pew. And basically a lot of weird things happen. It sounds very Southern Gothic, just very mysterious and weird, and I kind of like that weird mysterious horror that you can't figure out until the very end, that makes you ask a lot of questions. I like that, so I'm really looking forward to this one. And then for sci-fi, I want to definitely read the sequel to Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which is a closed and common orbit. by Becky Chambers. I loved Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I absolutely loved it, 5 stars, so I definitely want to continue this. And it seems like this is focusing, the first book focused on one of the crew members named Rosemary, and this is focusing on the ship's AI, which is named Lovelace, and I thought they were really interesting characters, so I definitely want to read this. And then lastly, the last sci-fi I'd like to read is A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White. This sounds right up my alley. It is a sapphic sci-fi about 2 women on the wrong side of the law who board a smuggler's ship that will take them on a quest for fame, riches, and justice. And it just sounds so cool. I am writing another sci-fi book right now. I just started and I am struggling a little bit, so I'm hoping that reading this one and Becky Chambers' sequel will help me because it's kind of in the same vein as my idea, so I'm hoping that for research purposes, these will work out good. And that is it for my August TBR, a little bit shorter than normal because I am so busy. As you may have noticed that my upload schedule has not been super consistent lately. I just became a librarian trainee at my local library and I'm so happy, but I am also really busy. So yeah, I apologize that my upload schedule has been taking a little bit of a hit because of that, but I'm hoping to get a better handle on everything soon and to kind of figure out my schedule a little bit better. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you're going to read for August and I'll see you next time. Bye!